Now the other one deals with unequal borders. Okay, so how this works is a standard deck that you would buy on Amazon or Walmart or whatever. It ends up that most of the card decks that we buy that aren't kind of casino quality, they're not printed perfectly. Okay, I'm going to set these down. Okay, now I've oriented these the same way already. I just want you to see if you can detect what I did. So if you look at these cards, so I'll probably have to hold these up because of the white background. Okay, so maybe this is a good one right here. So look at the border. Do you see anything interesting about the border? Well, one thing I think you can see, let me make sure it's angled right, is it's fatter, the white is fatter up here than it is down here. Let's see, let me hold it over. Okay, so technically this border over here is actually thinner than the one over here. Not by much. But up here, that is much fatter than this. Quite a bit fatter. Okay, now is that true for some of these others? Oh yeah, for sure. So can you see how much fatter this is up here versus down here? It's much skinnier, thinner white space there. And if you look really carefully, the margin here is a little thinner than that one. Let's look at another one. Same thing. In fact, you can even see that they're off centers a bit, right? I mean, the purple's not perfectly centered. Well, you can see because this is so much thicker here of a margin, a white margin than that, okay? So you can take advantage. You could either focus on the fact that oh, this is a good one for left and right margins, I think. Yeah, that one's pretty good. Can you see that the left margin, the white margin, is thinner than the right one? And then, of course, the top is fatter by quite a bit than the bottom. We're focused on the white border, okay? So it's similar to kind of one-way cards, right? So here you're taking advantage of the geometry of the back of the cards. The back of the cards now, okay? So if you were to kind of go through the cards, now this you may want to do ahead of time, unless you're claiming that you're kind of feeling the cards as to why you're keeping them. But really what you're looking for is, maybe in this case, look for the, if a card has a clearly fatter top border than the bottom. Okay, and we'll have that on top. So you go, oh, okay, this feels like a good one. It feels like a good one. Yeah, that was a good one. And so forth. And you can see, now I've chosen these because they're all fatter on top. In fact, you can really do it for the whole deck. You could, oh man, that one's really bad, isn't it? If you look at how much thicker the white border is up there than here. So if you were to do some pre-setup, in fact, I think I did it for the whole deck. Well, maybe not. It looks like I got lazy. But you can orient them, you know, so that fatter portion's on top. And then, of course, you could have it on the top of the deck, okay? And now you can start dealing the cards until the spectator says stop, you know. As long as you don't go through the ones that you've arranged so that they're pointing the same way. We have a fat portion on top, and they say stop there. Then it's very similar to one-way cards, except that we're looking on the backs now, okay? And so, boy, you can just see how much bigger that is, can't you? It's just crazy how much bigger that is. Some of these borders, like the border on top, is so much thicker. Or what you'll find with some decks, I find it equally likely that maybe the tops and bottoms are pretty similar, but then the left and right are like really different. Kind of like different in the same way the top and the bottom are different here, okay? And it's because these technically are reject packets, reject cards. because the ones that are like perfectly centered would reach casino standard. Because for the very reason that we're looking at, if you know that there's a discrepancy in the printing here that would allow you to in any way keep track of where a card is, because the backs aren't identical from card to card, then that's a problem for the casinos, right? So they need to make sure that the back of the cards are as similar or identical as possible. Okay, so what you can do, I have the fat end up, so you can just do the same thing. They just randomly choose a card. There you go. And so here, you just kind of fiddle and just rotate. And so now I have the thin end on top, fat on the bottom. And so if you watch how they're handling their card, and I can just show you, it's a 5 of hearts. And then if they put it anywhere in here, then you're free, just don't drop the cards. You're free to mix them however you want. A safe thing to do is just go ahead and just deal them into piles, of different sizes. Just make sure you don't rotate any of the cards, and make it look as haphazard as possible, which it is. We're not keeping track of anything, okay? And so you could really deal these out in a way that the spectator's is going to go, okay, there's no way anyone could know anything about where these cards are, right? Because he's just like randomly dealing them. And the only thing I'm worried about is maintaining this vertical orientation, right? Just maintaining that. And then the spectator can say, okay, pick up this one next, and then that one, maybe this one next, and then that one, okay? And so it won't take long to convince the spectator that no one could possibly know where the cards are. And that's true. Okay, and so at this point, what you could actually do is you can just spread these out. Okay, so this is a little different than the one-way cards, because with the one-way cards, you almost have to see the entire face of the cards to determine like which way it's going. So here, what you're looking for is essentially uniform. Wow, there's the card, by the way. Sticks out like a sore thumb. How it got on the bottom, I have no idea. But anyway, boy, look at the difference in border. I have the tops matching, by the way. The top edge is matching, just about matching. But look how much fatter that is versus that. That's amazing. So anyway, we've already found the card. It's that one. So depending on the deck, it might be that you're focused on the left edge, being the same thickness. Right? But with this particular deck, I noticed that the easiest way to spot a discrepancy in the centering of that image on the back is to focus on the upper margin. Okay, so anyway, so you could claim that you're trying to get a sense of where it is. Oh yeah, feeling like it's over here somewhere. I'll get rid of those. Let's see. Not that one. Or that one. Nope. Oh, I'm down to 2. Which one could it be? Boy, I'm just drawn to this one for some reason. See, is this the 5 of hearts? It is indeed. Okay, so, and you'll look like a wizard. Okay, so that is using like unequal borders or margins. That would be another way to say it, the margins around the border, I guess. The margin that makes up the border of the back of the cards.